Hey, what's up, folks? How's it going? Hello, hello. How we doing? Good evening, afternoon, morning. Some of you guys. How's everyone doing? We are back. We are so back. Approaching 8 p.m. here, St. Louis. We have been studying the greatest games of Yefim Geller. That's what we're going to continue doing tonight for a bit. Basically, been trying to look at least 3 games every day. So far, that's been our pace, which I think is a good pace. 3 games. Nice and easy. And then when we're done with Geller, we're probably going to move on either to Karpov or to Smyslov. Maybe Smyslov, because Smyslov, he had some good d4 games. With Geller, we're kind of interested in e4. Maybe we can look at Karpov's e4 games too. Karpov also, just feel like there's not enough time, to go through everyone's games. Hey, Gustavo, MG, Coffee, TK. How's it going? Yeah, going through games on a board I think is very, very nice. CloudSad, what's up? It's very enjoyable. Whenever I ask myself, like, oh, what would you want to do right now if you could do anything? I'm like, I would love to go through some chess games on a board. So it's cool. We get to stream this now through the magic power of DGT, digital game technology. I get to move the wooden pieces. You guys get to follow on the board. Win-win. See, that was fun. That was fun. GG. So watch out for this A4 idea. Okay, did everyone follow that? Maybe C6? Maybe this could have been played. A6, you still kind of get your bishop locked in a little bit. Seems kind of unpleasant. I think I might have given white a couple extra moves. It's not important, guys, all right? The important thing is to understand the idea. Oh, small magnetic board. Cool. Those can be very portable, especially if you're traveling. If you're like on a flight or something, or on a train. It's pretty useful, I would say. Thanks, Gustavo, thanks. Karis, yeah. I have a Karis book I want to get through as well at some point. His Road to the Top. Or his path? I can never remember if it's his road to the top or his path to the top. Some people, they have a path, others have a road. Road to the top. Yeah, I thought it was road. Because path is a little bit easier, you can just walk a path. Road implies, there's some obstacles, there's some difficulties. You can't just walk a road, the whole time. But most people just use them interchangeably, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, road. Oh, top. Favorite book of all time. Road to the Top is your top book? Dang. I should really read it, because I do very much like Karis in his games. Wow. That's big words. What do I think is best games collection? I like Fisher. I feel like Fisher had a very good one. Fisher, Botvinnik, 100 selected games. I think it's good. A lot of people like Tall. Tall's not like my favorite, but of course Tall's up there. Complete games of Paul Karras. Is that similar, or how's that compared to Road to the Top? Because I remember looking on Amazon, it wasn't super clear which which book to get, because of course we need, we would need algebraic notation for our millennial brains. Complete games isn't Karis's own annotations. Oh, I mean that's okay, but yeah, of course I would want Karis on Karis. I have one of his books. I don't think I have it out, but I have the big blue one. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's a big blue book. I think it's pretty recent. I think it's Karis's notes, but I don't remember exactly the title. I just know that it's his book and it's fairly recent. Could be Quest for Perfection. That sounds familiar. Yeah, let me Google that. See if that matches. Quest for Perfection, Karis. It's big and blue. Oh, I do have this one. So this is a red one that I just Googled. I do have this red one somewhere, I think. I haven't read it. But I also have this big blue one. Let me see. Karis Chess. The Art of the Middle Game. I mean, that's a good book. Art of the Middle Game. That's a real classic, honestly. Yeah, Amazon doesn't really have a great Karis selection. What is this book that I got? I mean, it's like pretty recent. I would think it's available. Hold on. US Chess will have it. US Chess sales. They have everything. They're the United States Chess of America. Where's their store? Oh, here we go. 4th of July coupon code. All right, Karis. Karis, let's go. Hey, what's up, Law and Ranch? How much would you need to do to turn it into Karis Chess? Let's discuss. Throw out a number. Throw out a number. I do have the Karis book somewhere. That could be next. Dang, what is this Karis book that I have? I mean, I swear it's like... This is why we need ChatGPT to take over. Karis Chess book. Blue. Is it row to the top? Row to the top, because it's not paperback. It's hardback. So I don't think it's row to the top. Very confusing. Oh, here we go. Oh. So this is the book that I have. I now understand. Okay. I found it. Man, it's hard to it was very hard to find this book. So this is the book that I got recently. I'm going to put it in the chat. Oh. Yo. What's up, everyone? We were just doing some research. Yo. Hello. Thanks for the raid. I am Rosen. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't see. I'm on my laptop here. I'm on my laptop and I was Googling something. I didn't see, and that was my fault. And I will be the first to take blame for this. I will be the first to take blame. I don't have the sound alerts on. I apologize. We were researching something. Thanks for joining. Let's give Eric a shout out. How's everyone doing? So this is Chess Dojo. I've been streaming some OTB study time here with the old DGT board. So it's been fun. We've been going through Geller's greatest games, which has been very enjoyable for me because Geller is one of the great players, and I feel like his games in particular are very instructive. Recap of life games of Eric Rosen has hilarious. Weren't you here? You're not even, with all due respect, you're not even one of the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders, they have a right to be upset. You know, they have a right. They raided. You know, I was busy Googling something. Thanks for following, folks. Thanks for following. But yeah, you were here. You have no right to. You know, you should have warned me. You should have warned me. You know. Hey, what's up? Hello. Thanks for following, Spooky, Medobi, Purist, Neo Divas, Huffleneck, Redapt. How's everyone doing? Thanks, Duotrip. Thanks. Yeah, we just started doing this DGT board recently. We did a little bit when we got this board last year, but okay, to be honest, I had issues getting the board to work, like with chess.com and streaming it. So I'm using the DGT tester thing here, which is very responsive, which is great. It just tracks the board. You know, it doesn't have to be legal or illegal moves. You know, it doesn't judge. You can just do whatever, and that's cool. So it makes it very easy to just kind of play through games, which is something I just enjoy doing in general. I find that it kind of sticks with you when you move the pieces with your own hand, so to speak, and see the board with your own eyes. Especially, you know, if you're playing OTB tournaments, it really helps, I think, to try and work a lot with the board. By the way, I'm going to get back to the book we were just discussing. Thank you, folks. Thank you. I think someone asked, this is the DGT, I think it's called the Smart Board. I believe it's the cheapest one. It comes in, it starts at like $350 or something. And then it was another like $200-300 for the pieces, because the pieces are wooden and they're weighted, and they have this like DGT functionality, you know, magnets or something. Very expensive. But I feel like it's worth it. You know, it's cool just to be able to. I'm hoping eventually we just have like apps and cameras, and then you can just use like any wooden board. Like I could use the one behind me, and then the app would just kind of track the moves and then do the thing. I feel like we're very close to just being able to do that really easily. So that could be fun as well. So we wouldn't even need DGT for that. Thanks, LA Cordeau. Oh, if you need a second queen, actually the DGT board does come, or the pieces, they do come with an extra pair of queens. So yeah, there is a second queen that you can use. And then if you need like a third queen or something like that, or like a third bishop, it's like you're on your own, pal. You're on your own. You know, chess beauty costs extra. Okay. You need a third knight. Yeah, it's gonna be extra, buddy. What do you think this is? Hertz? I think that stuff is free. That's true. That's a good point, Sepchez. Normal quality board is not cheap either. If you want like a wooden board, nice wooden pieces. So the DGT premium is something like another 150 or so. Do we have some commercial email? Yeah, we do actually. You can reach us at ChessDojoTwitch@gmail.com. ChessDojoTwitch@gmail. Yeah. Oh, Semislav video. Yeah, I don't I don't even remember that. But that's cool. I'm sure it was instructive. Oh, you have a board so nice, you don't want to break it so you don't use it. What do you mean? Is it like fragile? I mean, because a lot of wooden boards, like the one behind me, is pretty sturdy. I leave it out in the sun. I bang it. You know, I take it to parties. It can really withstand a lot. But if it's like a marble or I don't know, something kind of glass or something, then yeah, you gotta be careful with that. Marble, huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel about clothes. You don't want something that's like you want something that's so nice you're worried the whole time you're gonna ruin it, you know, that you're wearing it. So what's the point? What's the point? Okay, folks, so this is the book that so we were talking about Paul Karras and maybe studying some of his games at some point. This is the book that I got, this World Chess Championship book. So this is actually a tournament book that Karras annotated. So he annotated the games to the World Championship tournament, 1948, which is a very strong tournament. So it's not exactly a book of his own games, but it's a book of him annotating a bunch of his and then other players' games as well. It seemed like it was really well reviewed, so I was very interested in getting it. And yeah, it's like, I think it's not clear from that link, but it's this like big, thick blue book that I have somewhere. Basically, I have somewhere. But I don't know if I have Road to the Top, but I would be very interested in getting it. Is that available? I might have it somewhere, but I don't know where it is, and I might just have to get it again. Road to the Top, huh? I want to go to the top. Only Paul Karras gets to go to the top? It doesn't seem fair. Oh, 2-volume. Road to the Top and Quest of Perfection. What if I don't want the 2-volume? Amazon. I just want... Okay, paperback from $99.98. Come on, man. So, yeah, this is why I didn't get it, huh? Because it's hard to get. So where do I even get Road to the Top? How would I even buy it? Man, they couldn't reprint Road to the Top? No one was interested? I'm interested. Thanks. See you. Road to Second. Okay, folks, we got to figure out how to get Road to the Top. Because that's unfortunate. Road to the Top. Karras. Buy. Might not be available. Out of print. Out of print. It's unbelievable. It's out of print, CloudSat. Very sad. Well, okay. Now we know what we're up against. We're trying to get this Karras book. We'll stay on the lookout for it. Okay, well, in the meantime, we are going to be studying some Geller games. This is the book, The Nemesis, Geller's Greatest Games. It has Geller's notes, annotations of his games. Geller was a very, very strong player. I feel like his games are very clear and direct. And the book has some engine, engine corrections. I call them the community notes. Actually in this position, black had a win, this and this. But for the most part, hasn't been too egregious. It hasn't been too nosy. I think it's been a good mix of the original notes plus some minor details. Geller overlooked. A maiden 2 here, simple tactic here. Not really big stuff. How strong would Geller be today? Well, I feel like at a certain point he was easily within the top 10 players in the world. So, he had a plus score against Robert James Fisher, who's pretty good. So if you put him somewhere in the top 10, then comparatively, adjusting for inflation and stuff, then he's like 2,700, right? But if you just take Geller as a player, and then transport him into today's time, then, less, maybe like 2,600. I don't know. He's very, very strong. Always hard to judge. Yeah, on Amazon it's $100. Expensive. Oh, I don't know this store, Lebates. Both books for $55. Is that a good deal? I think Dojo can afford that. That's the best deal you'll find out. All right. Can't pass up a good deal when you see one. We're gonna need like 3-4 people to sign up for the Dojo training program to cover that. I think we can do it. Hey Santana, streaming from St. Louis. Got some milk tea. New milk tea place here. Trying to support the business. Big milk tea fan. All right, MG weirdo. So let's talk. Let's talk about these books. So yesterday we looked at some big games. We looked at Geller Pano, very famous game, Battle of Gothenburg. I think maybe some of you guys were here for that. Looked at Geller. We looked at a different Geller, Philip, not this one. This could be interesting. Okay, let's look at this one. It's called The Spanish Experiment. No, not Kung Fu Tea. Kung Fu Tea. But that place sounds good. All right, sounds good. I'll check it out. Okay. Oh, let me let's type the game into the chat. Game. Geller. Philip. Gustavo, I didn't know you're here in St. Louis. Candidates Tournament, Amsterdam, 1956. Candidates Tournament is pretty big. That's true. I know all the best avocado toast places in St. Louis. Very true. All right, we're going to pin this message. That's Slew. Awesome. Awesome. That's super close. Okay. You guys ready? E4. Geller's white. E5 against Miroslav Philip. Knight f3, knight c6. Bishop b5, a6. Bishop a4, knight f6. Castles. Bishop b7. Rook e1, b5. Bishop b3, d6, c3. Classic Rui Lopez. Classic. Classic stuff. h3. Knight b8. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Dude thinks he's Breyer. Dude thinks he's Breyer or something. d4, knight d7. c4. This ingenious continuation casts doubt on Black's chosen system of defense. Okay, Geller. Okay, even I know that's a little much. This is very solid. Black can go like c6. I mean, c4 is a move. c4 is a move. Yeah, Philip played in the candidates. I mean, someone had to lose to Karas and Smyslov and Tal and Petrosian, Spassky. Someone had to lose to these guys. Yeah, now I think it's not the main move. You know, I think 92, right, is just kind of normal, but it's a move. Okay, b4. Here I'm out of book. c5. White selects a sharp line that entails giving up his queen and 2 pawns for a rook and 2 minor pieces. Let's go. The quiet a3 was worth considering. Okay, community note says that in 2011, Vallejo Pons played a3 and eventually beat Hare Krishna. Well, if he eventually beat Hare Krishna, then must be good move. Must be good move. Okay, so c5. Bishop b7, queen c2. E takes d4. You guys think it's so easy to beat Pintala Hare Krishna? Very difficult. c6. Especially 2011. It's like peak Pintala. d3, queen c4. Knight b6. I guess this is all force. He doesn't really, there's not a lot of notes. I guess it's all force. All right, takes. Queen takes. Gets this position. Knight takes e4. Bishop takes d3. Now d5. Hey, Blues, that's awesome. What brand is that? What brand is that? The headphones. I like watching videos about expensive tech that I can't buy. I don't know if you guys do that as well. Yeah, like some new laptop. Like, I'm not getting a new laptop, you know, but I just want to know what's out there, you know, what's happening. Hey, pandas, welcome back. You know, I'm trying, Cloud said. I'm trying. Support the stream, folks. Thank you so much. Hey, that's great, Pablo. What was that in response to? Was that the $1,700 headphones thing? Ah, thank you, Claus. Thank you. Appreciate it. See, you guys, sometimes all you got to do is ask. Sennheiser. I've heard of Sennheiser. I was looking at their, like, I don't know, $200-$300 headphones. But yeah, headphones aren't they wouldn't be my first purchase, tech-wise. I think, what would I get? Maybe I would get a light or something. Kind of upgrade my lighting system. Dishwasher. For sure. Yeah. Maybe a fancy mic at some point, you know. My mics aren't super high end. Oh yeah. Oh, I see, Pablo. I see. No, Hare Krishna is very strong. Very strong. So funny. He's the old, the new Velmirovic, the Serbian hope, Velmirovic. No, Hare Krishna is really strong. I mean, he's well over 2,700 for many years, and also very solid. Like if he was playing in the 1960s, 1970s, Pantala Hare Krishna, he wouldn't lose a game. He'd be like Maximum Petrosian. He'd be world champion. Like he just destroy everyone. But okay, he was born in a different time. Born in a different time. But he's just like, just solid 2750, technical, insanely strong. Skittles isn't chess. What GM said that? Huh? I've never heard that. What did he mean by Skittles? He meant like analysis, like Skittles room, or did he mean the beloved American candy that everyone loves? Okay, sorry, we got a little hung up on the Hare Krishna thing. He's very good. The position that has now come about can be assessed as favoring white, since his pieces will prove stronger than the black queen in a hand-to-hand fight. I mean, 3 pieces is a lot. I definitely kind of sympathize with the 3 pieces. Does anyone here would rather have black's position? 3 pieces, pretty serious. Oh yeah. I mean, with all due respect to you and to Max Illingworth, I mean, yeah. Hare Krishna is just different level. Different level. If you said you beat Hare Krishna in Bullet 2 times, then VIP of the channel easily. Yeah, the thing about the queen is like, okay, queen is very strong in the middle game, but if white's king is safe and the pieces kind of coordinate easily, then it's very hard to play when it's 3-on-1, you know? You have 3 pieces for the queen. You attack something 3 times, opponent can't really defend it with the queen. So let's see, I'm sure he converted smoothly. A3, a good move, weakening black's pawn mass. Black played A5. In response to knight C5, white would need to play bishop F1. Although community notes says that modern computers rate the chances as about equal after knight B3. All right, whatever, community notes. Always gotta ruin everything. Okay, but there's also bishop C2 possible. Then black would go B3. Okay, it's complicated. It's complicated. Yeah, I do find at lower levels, I think people have a hard time playing against the queen, which is fine. I mean, it's just one of the imbalances you have to learn. Actually, that's something I feel like we want to still add to the program. I don't think we have enough of like material imbalance positions. We have these like material conversion, like win conversion positions where you're up an exchange, you're up a piece for the lower levels, and then you have to win it 3 times in a row and kind of practice your technique. But I wanted to actually advance those and do positions like you're up an exchange and you're winning, you have 2 pieces for the rook, 3 pieces for the queen, 2 rooks against the queen and you're winning, rook minor piece, couple pawns, and you're winning. I think practicing these positions would also be very, very useful. Okay, anyway. So knight c5 was the best defense, as practice has shown, but in this game, dude went a5. Understandable. Bishop e3. Knight c5 now. You shouldn't have removed the knight from its strong post. Oh, so now knight c5 was wrong. I bet when they were analyzing, they're like, you should have played knight c5. You should have played knight c5. He's like, yeah, I played the next move. I played the next move. It's like, all right, well, the next move, it was too late, buddy. It was too late. Bishop f1. So now black gets nothing from knight b3, rook a2, d4, bishop f4. I think if you take, there's some queen d5 at the end with the double attack. So bishop f4, queen d5. And Geller gives rook e5, but also says rook takes e7 would be good for white, as black has nothing special against this rook. Does this teach coordination? Yeah, for sure. I mean, being able to play with pieces against the queen, I think, is very important, because you will have situations in your games where you need to be willing to sacrifice your queen for 3 pieces, or rook and 2 pieces, or 2 rooks, or 2 rooks, especially 2 rooks in 1 piece. You should be very willing to make that trade. It's not even a sacrifice at this point. You're actually winning material. But I understand people are nervous playing against the queen, because you need to have skills in terms of being able to coordinate your pieces. But that's where the practice comes in. First couple times, it'll be tricky, but I remember a couple times I was playing with the queen against multiple pieces versus some strong players, and they would outplay me with the pieces. And, that kind of taught me as well, like, okay, well, clearly, the queen can be dominated if the pieces are coordinated, the king is safe, and the opponent knows how to coordinate them and play with piece harmony. So it's not easy, but I think it's one of the imbalances at some point you have to just get practice with. Another one is like 2 pieces versus the rook. That can happen in your games, and you have to be willing to make that decision. Do you want to give up the 2 pieces, give up the rook, and know which situations are good or bad? Yeah, so question, what about bishop c5? So this was here. Yeah, I think... So there's not a lot of detail in the book, so we can just look at it. I think the idea of queen d5 was to stop bishop c4. So maybe bishop c4 here to challenge this knight and try to get the rook out. Hey, thanks for the gifted sub, Anonymous. Big fan of your work. Bishop c4 looks annoying. And then maybe a4, knight d2. We're able to get the rook out, and white has a material advantage. 3 pieces is definitely more than the queen. Hey, SoCal, how's it going? Yeah, why not knight d2 earlier? Not sure. Not sure. Let's see. Knight c5, bishop f1, knight b3. This was the line. d4 here. And then you could also go knight d2 here as well. Yeah, Pablo. I mean, I'm sure they've played several games. You know, I don't know what their score is, but I bet it might be findable. So Black played B3, 92, A4. Oh, Bishop F4. Bishop was here. Bishop F6. Bishop E5. Geller says after the exchange of dark square bishops, Black has practically no possibility to create play against the weak B2 pawn. Takes. Knight e6, rook ac1. You guys are going to learn. Oh, this was here. Queen a5. Going to learn from the conversion. c5, rook d1, c4. Those are kind of scary, huh? Knight c6, queen c5, knight b4. Wow, he's really not messing around. He's hitting this one. If you push this one, then c4 is going to drop. Now the pieces are starting to pile on, speak for themselves, so to speak. Rook d8, knight e5, knight d4. Rook d2. Wanting to go here. Okay, it says a simpler way was knight g4 followed by knight e3. Then White's starting to maybe take on d5, take on c4, start winning some material. So yeah, knight g4. Let's say Black makes some move, knight e3. Black's busted. White's just taking on d5 and just winning, technically. For instance, it's hard to even find the move. If the knight moves, White takes on d5 for free. We just have more pieces. So, I don't know. Some move. King f8. Knight takes d5. Take this one. There's knight e2 check. There's knight e2 check. And if we take, queen takes. I think this is probably good enough. Can't go rook takes yet because there's knight f3. Maybe bishop takes. White should win this. Rook e1, king f1, etc. Oh yeah, I'm not sure about the time on, of course. Yeah, that might be high end. A lot of theory. Theory. Okay, so bringing the knight back. Geller went rook d2. f6, knight g4. Says Black should have played h5 to stop this. Instead, he encouraged it like an idiot. Knight c2. Takes. That's not what it said in the book. My own commentary. Takes. Rook d6. Knight e3. King f8. And I love this final move. Rook d1. Redoubling, but this time. First he played rook d2 because he wanted to double this way. Then the guy gave up a pawn. So he goes rook d1 in order to double, and then again, it's too many pieces. Too many pieces. Rook takes probably. Still, this position would still require some work, but as long as everything is kind of protected, white should win smoothly. It's hard for the queen to really do anything. What about this position? Do you guys think you would win this easily, or is even this going to be kind of 50-50 or not so clear? This is a lot. This is, you're getting past pawns. You got no counterplay, you know, for the queen. This would be a lot. This is pretty clear. Yeah. Okay, that's good. This is pretty clear. 0-1. Okay. That's good. So yeah, so that was the game. Rook d1, and then it was just resigns. Okay. Are there any questions? By all means. By all means. Otherwise, we're going to move on. Next game may be, let's see, there's Geller-Kolmov. Geller-Kolmov action. You guys know Kolmov. He was good. Get some games in him. You got Tall Geller. Geller-Karas. Geller-Polygaevsky. Ooh, maybe we follow the Polygaevsky game, huh? Open Shishilian. Looks pretty interesting. Looks pretty interesting. Dang. That was a nice game. Yeah, queen versus two rooks in the middle game, I think, is very, very double-edged. A lot of times the queen is better than the two rooks in the middle game. Now, David Pruess, who's also a sensei on this channel, doesn't like to admit that. He thinks two rooks are always better than the queen, no matter what, even when it's losing by force. But yeah, in fact, there's many middle game positions where the queen outplays the rooks. Endgame, though, endgame, two rooks, definitely stronger. No one's arguing that. Right, oh, we got Geller Fischer. All right, let's do Polygaevsky game, then we'll do Fischer game after that. This is Geller Polygaevsky, USSR Championship, Moscow, 1961. Oh, hey, Gusser, it's in the title, actually. Geller's Greatest Games. I actually don't know why it's called the Nemesis. I forgot. I think I read it in the intro at some point, but yeah, I think because maybe he hates chess or something. Chess is his nemesis. I forget exactly what it was. Okay. Here's the next game. Let me put it in the chat so we can pin that comment. New game show. USSR Champ Moscow 1961. Pin it to win it. There we go. All right. Who's ready to pin that comment? Okay. Oh, new fridge. Let's go. I need a smart fridge. You know, that like cooks my food for me. Okay. Oh, let's set up the board. Some interesting notes at the start of this game. Just need a fridge that like ripens my avocados and ripens some lemons. Defrosts chicken when it's time. Yeah, I just need a fridge GPT. Someone working on a fridge GPT. That's got to be on the works, right? So one day you can just be like, hey, fridge, make me some pancakes. And it's like, oh, yes, sir. You want the blueberry or chocolate like last time? I'll do blueberry. All right, very good, sir. Yeah, fridge DGT, exactly. Dude, I can't wait for the DGT GPT collab. When's that happening? When's the DGT GPT collab happening? DGT GPT. Are you sure you want to make that move, sir? Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's a blitz game. Did you go D2, D4? Or did you play nothing? Yeah, DGT, I played nothing. Very smart. Oh, it's a blitz game. All right, here's the position. We got this, 92, knight of 6, e5, knight d7. All right, white to play. What's your move? Knight b1? Yeah, knight b1. Very good. Oh, rook b1. You played rook b1, huh? Very smart. That was my experience playing on chess.com. Rook b1 every game. Rook b1, rook a1, knight b1. Actually, knight b1 is a good move in some positions, but here I think it's a little early. All right. Anyway. Okay, so Geller writes something kind of interesting here. He says, White has at his disposal a plan for blockading the queen side, which has brought him a fair number of points in the most important of contests. You might ask, if it works, why deviate from it? But in the first place, just as you cannot work on your chess by studying only the first 10 to 15 moves, are you listening, guys? He wrote this in like 1962. So you should not stick to one and the same opening scheme, rich as it may be in variations and diverse subtleties. Such one-sidedness threatens to narrow a chess player's horizons. See? This is a chess player that knows. This is a chess player. And secondly, every one of us is familiar with the purely human wish to look for something new now and again, even if this may not be wholly prudent. Okay, a little idealistic. It must have been a combination of all these factors that gave rise to White's 10th move. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. All right, so Geller was feeling a little creative during this game, makes some, interesting move. And now he's saying, it's not about playing the opening, and I could have played the best opening, but I chose not to. Okay, he's like justified. Okay, no, it's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see what happened. E4. Dude wrote a whole spiel just to justify, trying out a new move. It's okay, Geller. I mean, you're a strong player. You can play different stuff against the Najdorf. I mean, it's not a big deal. All right, bishop e2. No, he played this before anyway. E5. Knight b3, bishop e7. Castles. Castles. Bishop e3, queen c7. Okay, he says bishop e6 was better. Not committing the queen just yet. No, bishop e2 is fine. Bishop e2 is fine. Okay, so this was his weird move, queen d2. Queen d2. He says, as I see it, 10a4 is objectively stronger. So in a previous game, he said something about how he likes to first like fix the queen side, stop the counterplay, and then start kind of dominating black on the king side. So he's saying a4 here is good, stopping black from playing b5. Black would have to go b6. And then, okay, it's still, a very normal Sicilian position. So in this game, he goes queen d2. Now he's trying to kind of rationalize why. Okay, in this book, the reader will find several examples of white blockading the black queen side, but that perfectly correct plan still doesn't exhaust all the riches of the position before us. For the moment, white is masking his intentions, entertaining the plan of active operations on the king side. Okay, guys, look, I don't know what happened. He must have been worried about Pologaevsky. I mean, dude was good at preparation. Maybe he just looked at him and was like, I don't want to do the thing I always do. There goes queen d2, okay. Let's see what happened. Bishop e6, f4. All this is very, very normal. What's up, Mr. Dog? E takes f4. Oh wait, queen is on c7. Okay, so he says knight d7 would be also critical, but then white could try f5, bishop c4, and g4. And the verdict of this position depends on the move d5, whether black can get away with this or not. Otherwise, g5 would be pretty serious. So d5. E takes d5. Bishop b4. Wow, what a move. d6. Geller says this is good for white. Community note says it's double-edged after queen c6 or queen c8. Okay, I mean, I don't know. Queen c6. Yeah, it's not single-edged. I'll tell you that much. More than one edge. Honestly, I would say I would go so far as to say that this is triple-edged. I don't know about you guys. I would not stop at double-edged here. Because you can win, you can lose, you can draw. It sounds like triple-edged to me. It's like, what are you talking about? No, it's very sharp. It's very sharp. Yeah, I don't even know what move to play. Because knight e4 is an annoying threat. If bishop f3, there's e4. And we have a lot of stuff hanging. Yeah, definitely not a clear position. Not easy at all. Yeah, a4, b6 gives black extra tempo. Yeah, yeah. That's right. Okay. Well, we can see why black would be afraid of this line. You have to go knight d7, f5, g4, d5. And you have to go for this. Like way back from, from there. Takes bishop b4. Then you got to believe you have enough here with knight e4, knight takes d5, this kind of thing. It's not easy. For Neidorf players, I mean, it's pretty instructive. But I don't know, I mean, I've played these positions a bit. Usually e takes f4 is kind of what you do in these structures, right? Like, it's kind of the whole point is to go knight d7, bring knight to e5. So this is kind of logical. Rook takes f4. Now the plan is to bring the knight from b3 to f5, and put the bishop on d4, build up on the king side, look for some sack. He's saying black should have played knight c6, not letting white play knight d4 without just trading it off. But black went knight d7. Question mark? Yeah, allowing f5 is rare. Exactly. Knight d4, knight e5. Well, Polugayevsky, I mean, so far he's made very normal moves, actually. It's hard to imagine black hasn't done anything wrong, right? I mean, he says knight d7 is a mistake, but it feels like so far well, it's hard to criticize any of black's moves. I mean, they all pass the eye test. Let's see, knight f5. Rook ac8. It says if bishop takes f5, then rook takes. Knight c4 takes, queen takes, bishop d4. This would be in white's favor, according to Geller. That's logical. We got rook f1 coming. We're threatening maybe to take twice on f6. A little knight d5. Knight d5, very annoying. That makes sense. So rook c8. Rook af1. Rook f8. Bishop d4. Bishop f8. Bishop d3. Knight fd7. Rook h4. Exclaim. So now kind of typical ideas to play knight d5 here. Induce bishop takes d5, e d5, and then open up light squared bishop towards h7 pawn. And white would have like some ideas on the h7 square. Knight g6. Okay, community note says black could have defended with queen d8. And if rook h3, then g6. I mean, that is reasonable because, like I said, it didn't seem like black has did anything wrong. So it kind of makes sense that black should have been able to defend at least somehow. Queen d8, not very difficult, not very easy to see. Yeah, there's some like italicized engine corrections in the book. And they like to point things out here and there about the game. Little fun facts about the evaluations of certain positions. Okay, so knight g6 was played. Rook h3. 85. Maybe 95. Queen D1. Ooh. Queen D1. Quiet but deadly. Look at Mikhail Tall over here. Bro thinks he's tall. Black has done everything possible for the defense, but even this is not enough. The strike force of centralized white pieces is just too strong. And the h7 point has no defender other than the black king. h6 will happen, but then there's going to be some sacrifices. Queen g5 looks possible as well. Thanks, Tom. Thanks. Tom. I know it's Tom. Yeah, I love the wooden sets. They're very pleasant to handle. Looks pretty similar coming to Queen h5. I guess with h6, so in the game Queen d1, Black played h6 right away. White goes Rook g3. So maybe this is more flexible this way because the Queen's not on g5. Geller says also possible here was g4. Looking to go g5. Yeah, that could be very strong as well. And then if f6, then knight d5. Looking for black to take, so we could go ed, open up the light squares, and then it'd be just a matter of time before white breaks through. Yeah. But he says something very interesting here. He says, if possible, however, it is better to attack without weakening your own king position. The move in the game likewise prepares knight jump to d5, after which white's assault force will be too powerful. Geller with the terms. Assault force, force count, Rook g3, King h7. Oh, pawn is on b5. Right, so Queen d... Oh, excuse me. Queen d1 was played. Oh, then it didn't matter. b5. I missed a move. Queen h5, h6, Rook g3. This was the game. Yeah, strike force. He just made it up. So this is the same thing, actually. Queen g5, Queen d1. So Rook g3, King h7. Yeah, g4 as well here. Right. That was kind of the idea. Then f6, knight d5. So here, knight d5. So if b4, then knight d5 anyway. Then on takes, white has rook takes g6. With an irresistible attack. Knight h6 is a huge threat. Knight comes to f7. Let's say knight e5. So knight h6, right? Knight f7. If takes, rook takes. And then rook e7. Got this one. And mate. Call an ambulance for black. And then if check, king g8. I think maybe take a knight g5. Take rook takes. Yeah. Made next move. Made next move. Yeah. You know, when you have one bite left in your plate, and people are like, "Are you done?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm basically done." You know. Okay, but where's the mate here? Let's think about this for a sec. Okay. Well, I think I feel like this is probably good enough. Bishop takes. So black has to take with the rook because if pawn takes, there's knight g5. That seems to just mate, right? The old queen h7, rook is here. There's no checks. Oh, queen c2. Excuse me. Okay, so this is a little tricky. Wasn't supposed to be a queen c2. Okay, check. Still think this is probably winning. Check. In here. Oh, could have played queen h5 earlier. True. Let's go back. So we had this, yeah? I can go here. But this should be mate. This should be mate. Mate slash losing all your pieces. Okay. Yeah, it's just over. Here maybe. Okay, then minimum rook f7, etc. I think there are other ways as well. This also works. Oh wait, sorry, takes. There's no there's mate. Okay, then this one's good. Anyway, so this works. Yeah. So what about rook e5? So then I think this is winning. Knight takes, pawn takes. This is here. This check. King somewhere. I don't know where. And then rook somewhere. This looks pretty serious. It's pretty serious. Someone call Al Gore. So this is game. Game over. G6, queen takes G6. This one comes next. So I think that's what Geller meant when he said white has an irresistible attack. He's like, it's winning. This is the position we had now. I think pawn on h6 still or no? Yeah. Same line without playing knight f7 check. How do you mean exactly? So we have this position, black goes knight e5, takes. Here. On d3, that's true. Okay. Take here. Yeah, so rook takes, knight check. Same thing, right? I think you're right. Yeah. So playing knight f7 allows knight takes f7, which is not necessary, I guess. But this is winning for white, right? So doesn't make huge difference, I think. Thanks, Coffee. Thanks. I like it too. It's fun to do OTB. Feel like get to move the chess pieces. I like chess. Chess is fun. You know, it's a good life. Okay, so Geller good at chess. To recap, let's go back. So that's why Black played King H7. He didn't like all that. He didn't like all that. Yeah, way better than Diablo 4. What's the deal with Diablo? I mean, I never got into it. Is that... How does that game work? Like you have like a backpack and you have like stuff, or how does the... What's like the inventory status? That's always what I want. I just like the inventory, you know? You get weapons, shields, this kind of thing. Elixirs. Modern Zelda. Oh, I do like Zelda. Maybe we should stream Diablo. It's a good idea. Just kidding. So knight d5 played. Geller says also possible is king h1 and then h4. Might have been even stronger. Oh, bishop on d3 still. Who is the end boss of chess? Right now it's Magnus. It's Magnus. He's the end boss. Yeah. Any time control, any format, any domain. Number 2, probably Hikaru. Especially if we're thinking like fast time controls. Hikaru is pretty serious boss. Like he's like... Some people say he could be even harder. You know. Anyway. Okay, so knight d5. Got some NPCs in the chat. I could be like a gym leader. You know, I could be like an early gym leader or something. Nah, you're probably gonna do GMs for the... You know, I'm not gonna be gym leader here in St. Louis. Let's be real. Let's be real. Here in St. Louis, yeah, I'm not a gym leader. I could be one of the people... I could be one of the minions in the gym. One of the people you have to beat before you get to the gym leader. Maybe I could be one of the minions. One of the trainees. That's what Dojo needs. We need some gyms. Okay, so knight d5 takes. Yeah, maybe I could be the guy that like gives you a little bit of advice before you walk into the gym, you know? Don't forget to do some tactics before you play the gym leader. Yeah, I guess I could be an NPC, huh? So I would just be NPC. Anyway. Knight takes d3. C takes d3. Queen b7. Black suffers a noteworthy mate in the event of knight e5. Knight takes h6. Because if takes knight, then there's bishop e5. And rook comes to f7. That would be very bad. Very bad. So g6. Knight g4, check, exclam. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is just disgusting. Wow. That is filthy. That is just absolutely nasty. Sickening. Sickening. I'm disgusted. Ugh. Man. Geller mates. Geller mates, huh? Yeah, beautiful. Sliding the pieces is cool, huh? All right, I'll try to slide more. Thank you for the feedback. Dang. So queen b7. Oh, so right. That was so knight e5, yeah. Indeed, suffers a noteworthy mate, I'll say. Knight takes h6, g6. G4 check. And rook g8 mate. Very nice. Or king g7, queen h6, and knight f6 mate as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. Spoon bending. It's funny. Okay. So queen b7. King h1. The most precise. Now in the variation, queen takes d5, knight takes g7. Black will take on d4 without check. So if queen takes d5, knight takes g7 wins. Queen's hanging. If queen takes queen, knight takes back. White's doing well. If queen takes bishop, then knight takes e8. Rook takes e8. Rook takes f7 check. King h8. And now simplest is rook h7. Beautiful. Geller mates. Oh man. Okay. So that's the idea behind king h1. To me, queen takes d5 with knight takes g7. Okay. See us calculating that. So king h1. Rook c2. Knight e3. Heading to g4. Rook d2. Knight g4. Queen d7. Hey, chess pawn. Doing well. How are you? Yeah, I mean, it's a very sharp position, Phantasm. You know, it's not easy. White has a lot of pieces in the attack, but you have to be very precise in the execution. That's the point of studying these games, of course, to try and learn from the best. Okay. So it says also possible is rook de2. Trying to play rook e1. Then white answers bishop e3. Threatening knight f6 check. Picking up the rook. And if rook c2, then bishop takes h6. Knight f6 check, and rook is hanging, maybe even more. Okay, community note says rook takes b2 would be best. Then after takes, check, here, takes, queen e7. White loses the knight because knight f6 is refuted by queen takes f6. Stockfish. Stupid stockfish. Always has to ruin everything. So instead, in this line, after takes queen e7, white could play queen d1. Computer move. So this allows white to defend the knight. But I don't quite understand why. How is this a tempo? Oh, with the rook on c2. Ah, gotcha. So if the rook was on c2 here, then white would have this queen d1 move. Rook would have to move, and then white gets knight out, knight f6. White keeps the exchange. The rook on b2, none of this works. So white wouldn't be able to take on h6. Greedy compy. Greedy compy. So this wouldn't work. Okay, very difficult to see all this, of course. So in any case, queen d7 was played. Yeah. Tactics, tactics, tactics. Yeah, queen h6 was good here. But he says this is a possibility that won't go away. Because here white wins a pawn. But then black's rook is still active. Because there's going to be bishop g7. So this is not as good for white. So you see what Geller does, guys. He goes h4. So now he wants the same line. But at the end of the line, there's a little h4, h5 winning the piece. Dude is smart. That's called keeping the tension, not just winning the pawn back right away. Very nice move. Yeah, I could see a lot of us, okay, you want to win the pawn back. It's very natural. And I mean, how could you resist playing queen takes h6? I mean, we're all human. I bet in another day he would have played it and been like, you can't resist this move. It looks too good. But h4 is very strong. I mean, to sit on this, because you assume, okay, black will defend somehow, right? You won't get another chance. But what can black do? I mean, these sacrifices are coming. So queen e7. Thanks, T Streets. Rook e3. Queen d7. And booyah! Queen takes h6. Let's go. So now if takes, check. Check. Here rook is hanging, so knight e5. Bishop c3. Rook c2 and d4. Ooh. That's strong. Man. Imagine being this good at chess, huh? Bishop c3, d4. d4, very nasty. Yeah, exactly. A lot of times I like to visualize it. It can kind of help with your tactics and visualization, just to kind of feel yourself, seeing the lines. Bishop c3, rook moves. d4. Beautiful. So it takes. King g8. Okay, rook takes c8. GG. Because rook on d2 is hanging. If gh6, this still... White's just up a rook now. And after queen takes d2. Game over. And after any other move, rook takes d3, let's say, then, okay, we won the rook, but simplest is the old queen takes g7. Yeah, guys, Geller was a savage. I mean, vicious. Vicious, You wouldn't want to meet this guy in a dark alley. He'd mess you up. He'd cut you. This dude would cut you. Over the board. Over the board. I'm sure he was nice in person. Okay. Next game. Okay, Geller Fisher. You guys ready? The big dog. Big boss. Fischer. Rob E-R-T Fischer. Let's go. Which Geller Fischer? Exactly. Curacao, 1962. I'm sure I've seen this game, but it's always nice to revisit the classics. Well, Curacao. Okay, let's reset the pieces. Then maybe we'll stretch the legs for a second. We've been streaming for about 2 hours. And then we'll get to the Fischer game. This game is very, very nice as far as I remember. Very technical, clean. Karras also had a reasonable score against Fischer. I don't think he had a plus score, but he definitely whooped him in some games. Yeah, Curacao was a candidates tournament. Canada's tournament, of course, very strong. Fischer. But this is Fischer 1962. So this is like 6-7 years before, I guess 8 years before peak Fischer. You know, before he goes on his run, just starts winning every single game. Still, he's very good. Whew. Stretching legs just like OTB. Yeah, I like to get up actually whenever it's like not my move. I just get up immediately. Just let the opponent think. They can spend as much time as they want. I get to get up, walk around, get some energy. All right, y'all. We'll be right back. Alrighty, folks. We're back. How's everyone doing? You guys ready for this next game? Very big game. Okay. Ice cream ready. Nice. What kind of ice cream you eating? Okay, Fischer loved the Neidorf, of course. Bishop e2, e5, knight b3. Yeah, buckle in, folks. Buckle in. Enjoy. Enjoy. This is going to be a nice game. Okay, nice game requires some nice cream. Feel me? Hot chocolate, whipped cream, whatever you need to do. Regular chocolate. Okay. So castles. says in a game that they played 1 month later, Fischer played bishop e6 here. Castles, 97, e4, bishop e7, f4, queen c7, f5, bishop c4. Fischer not afraid. a5, castles, bishop e3, b5. Takes, knight takes. And after king h1, rook c8, bishop takes b6. Queen takes, bishop takes c4, rook takes c4. Queen e2. Geller says black obtained the worst position once again. After another 10 years, the continuation rook ac8 exclam, rook a2, bishop d8, rook fa1, queen b7 came to light, according to Kasparov. Okay, I guess they found some improvements, and this was reasonable for black, hitting a4 pawn. Maybe white goes rook a4 here or something. Okay, this bishop d8 maneuver, this is quite strong. It shows up a lot in Najdorf's, Sveshnikov's as well. I see it. But yeah, not a very obvious idea, of course. Okay, let's go back. So that was a later game. Kind of interesting as well. So bishop e7, castles, castles, bishop e3, queen c7. Geller says this is now considered an inaccuracy as the queen is committing itself too early and will come under attack from knight d5. Hence, more precise is bishop e6 and then knight d7. Okay, a4. So see, it was all about the opening, folks, even back then. It was all about the opening. Bishop e6. So in the previous game, Fischer played b6. But Geller managed to find a plan for dominating d5, after which the entire b6 variation ceased to appeal to its supporters. Yeah, see, with computers, people can just check a position. Okay, engine says equal. If someone loses, it doesn't matter. They just fix the line, they play it again. But back then, there are no computers. So if you beat someone strong in some variation, you could retire the entire line. Now everyone's like, oh, okay, I guess it's losing. Everyone's afraid to play it. So I guess that's what happened here. Queen d2, bishop b7, f3, bishop c6, rook fd1, knight bd7, queen e1, h6, queen f1, queen b7, bishop c4, rook fc8, rook d2, knight f8. Now the rerouting of the knight with knight c1, knight g6, knight c1, knight g6, knight 1 a2. Put black in a difficult situation. His knight's coming to b4, and he's getting the d5 square. Does it ever get difficult to remember the position when the notes get extensive and there's no diagram? Yeah, it can. It can. You get better at kind of keeping track, but for sure, especially with more variations, it gets harder and harder to remember where you left off. Then you just have to carefully retrace your steps. Okay, so that was the Fischer game. Well, let's see now how much we remember. I think we had this position. So he was saying in the previous game, Fischer played b6. Queen was on d1, then white went queen d2, bishop b7, f3, bishop c6, rook fd1, this queen e1 here, bishop c4, knight c1, knight a2, knight b4 plan. Okay. Okay, so he has some more Night Arf games. I don't know if you guys want to see them. But in this game, he says, because he says some other guys played b6, he crushed them as well. He's very fond of showing his own. He's like, here's another game where I won in this line. Here's a game where I beat Bulbachin. Here's how I beat Stein. Okay, anyway, in this game, Fischer went bishop e6. Fischer. a5. Knight d7. Knight d5. So Fischer went knight takes d5. He says, well, I could also go bishop takes. And after e takes, b5. Takes, knight takes. White is better after c4. Knight c4, there's going to be rook c1. Or queen c2. Yeah, rook c1, there's knight takes e3. So knight c4, there's queen c2. Rook fc1. So this was playable. It says a5 is possible. Then rook takes a5. Takes. Knight takes d5. Knight is hanging. Bishop d2. Knight f4. b4. And Geller says the passed b pawn is quite unpleasant for black. That would have been bishop takes d5. Pawn takes b5, takes. c4. Instead, Fischer played knight takes d5. So Geller says Fischer did not like to give up the bishop pair and only parts with it if there is an extreme necessity. This time he sticks with his convictions and the scales tip noticeably in white's favor. So maybe this wasn't as good for black. Bishop f5, c4. Bishop g6. Okay, community notes says, according to Medness, the correct line was rook a c8, rook c1, queen d8, queen d2. Oh, this is here. h6. Attempting to exchange the bishops with bishop g5. Yeah, typical idea, typical plan. Queen d8, though, always hard to play this move. So bishop g6, Fischer, I think he's going for f5. This is very logical. In fact, now you get the structure. You guys remember the Caruana-Carlsen match? You know, they played this structure a couple times in the Sveshnikov. And people are like, oh, it's a Night Arf structure. Yeah, a lot of times it comes from Night Arfs like this with the old knight d5. So why not just say Stockfish notes instead of community notes? I don't know, it's just funny, you know. Twitter's been in the news. Just trying to stay relevant. Okay, rook c1. The black bishop's maneuvers have taken time, and white has created a serious attack on the queen side. He intends to breach with c5. Knight c5. So Fischer was afraid of f5, c5. If takes, then you got b4 coming. Knight takes, b4, f4. takes here. Yeah, it feels like white's better in this position. A lot going on the queen side. You got queen a4, queen b3, bishop b6, bishop g4. A lot of moves. So f4, c5. f4 was another possibility, but then takes. Queen takes. Bishop c5. Knight takes c5. Knight takes c5. And he says this is what black should have done, but white's position would lose none of its attractiveness. The attempt to block the critical square c5 proves unsuccessful. Black's game is already beyond saving. Oof, beyond saving. Hard to come back from that. So yeah, he says this is good for white, but black could still fight here. It's very nice. This knight is super strong. You got like light square stuff. Especially if you get like bishop f3, knight e4, this would be very, very painful for black. So Fischer's play is understandable. But bad. Understandable, but bad. Knight takes c5. Let's see why. dc. b4. Ooh. Get some, Bobby. Get some. Now takes is bad in view of bishop b6 and then c5. And okay, this is just pain. This is just painful, like it hurts. Physically hurts, like you're gonna feel it in the shoulder. Oh, hold on. Community note says this takes here would not be so bad in view of c5, bishop g5. Hold on. Therefore, Kasparov's recommendation of queen b3 deserves preference. Okay, white's still doing well here. You're going to pick up the pawn, and yeah, these pawns are very strong. So I think that makes sense, because then bishop g5, you can put the rook on d1. You have more space here. b4 is falling. You still got c5, bishop c4. White's just kind of cruising on the queen side. So b4. Very nice move. Rook c8 was played. Queen b3. Bishop d6. Rook fd1. Black's just worse. Black just has very few prospects. Now he's starting to take on c5 and take on b7. So queen e7. Takes. Takes. Rook takes, because queen takes c5, queen b7. Now simple move, rook a1. I remember this one, very strong. Just defending the pawn. Now he wants this one. For example. So rook a1. Very nice idea. Looking to lift the rook. Rook d8. Rook a4. Bishop f5. Rook b4. Bishop c8. Rook b6. So he leaves the pawn hanging. If black takes, then it's d6. Queen d7, bishop f3. And then white's going to take on b7 next. And then yeah, it's very bad. Just two pawns, two connected passers. Rook b6. Rook d6. Queen b4. Queen c7. Takes this one. Queen takes. He's playing for the blockade, but if white can break the blockade, then just game over. Now he wants to come in. Queen c7. Oh, queen a4. Wants to put the rook on b6. Okay, threatening mate. So bishop d7, queen a3. This is so nice. Rook takes a5. Rook takes b7. So he trades the a pawn for the b pawn. Now whether black gets queen endgame or rook endgame, white's going to have two connected passers. Okay, so it says the best chance would have been rook takes a3, takes, check here, bishop f5. And now white would have to find extraordinary measures to get chances. Okay, g4, bishop d3, there's mates. So takes, threatening this, king up. Rook a3, exclam, threatening this. h3, double exclam. A lot of double exclam moves white would have to find. Takes, king h2. Again, we got the mate, bishop f5. d6, king f8. c5, f6, c6. Rook a4, rook a7. So only this leaves white with chances. I mean, it looks like white's break it, but it's hard. It's hard. You know, the king is coming back. Yeah, rook c4. Oh wait, there's no rook c4. Pawns look pretty strong. How to promote? Maybe bishop d3 somewhere. Okay, it's tricky. It's tricky. But you can see why, I mean, you can see why you think white's winning. Queen was here. Whoops. So rook takes b7. Fischer played queen takes. He didn't like the endgame. Queen takes a5. g6. h3. Well, now once the back rank is fixed, now black really has very little counterplay to these pawns. Check. Goes king h2. Wow, apparently he should have played bishop f1. Hold the phone. Apparently king h2 gives black some chances. Queen c2? Oh wait, bishop's on d7. Oh, that's why. Okay, bishop's on d7. So bishop f1 was better because here, queen c2, there's check, take, take. Black's counterplay is adequate to draw. He's got some counterplay. Okay, that definitely wasn't obvious at first glance. I'll tell you that. Queen g4, take, here, here. I mean, yeah, there's some counterplay. I don't know, queen d1. Queen d2 first, maybe. Okay, engine seems to think it's a draw. To me, it looks pretty tricky still. But okay. You know, Fischer, I guess, also didn't think it was so obvious. Neither did Geller. Wouldn't have allowed it if he did. Just saying. So this is here. This is here. So check. It went here. So bishop f1 would have been stronger. Then bishop f5. I guess white can just defend against the threat. Queen c3. And then would be ready to push the pawns. Okay, well, he went natural move king h2. Bishop f5 was played. Queen c3. Now everything is kind of restored as it should be. Queen e4, bishop f3. Queen d4. Just takes. g4. The bishop is driven into the path of the white pawn's advance, which gives white some important tempos. It's easy to verify that neither the bishop sacrifice with a5 takes here, 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 here. So this is good for white. Yeah, because we're promoting with the check. And we have extra piece. So this one's good for white. As is bishop c2, d6. Sorry, c5, d3, c6, bishop a4, d6. So white's winning here as well. d2, d7. GG. Or if this one, maybe better defense. Looks like we're in time. Here, here, here. Bishop somewhere, d7. And either way, we're promoting with check. Hey, chess lover. Geller games. We're studying Geller. Actually, very good e4 player. Mostly attacking games is what we've seen so far, but also get the occasional endgame. So g4, very strong move, forcing the bishop to decide somewhere to sit. Black played bishop c8, because all these lines were losing, but now c5 anyway, a5, c6, king was here, king f8. and d6. This move was sealed, and black resigned without arriving for the resumption. Equally bad options are king e8, bishop d1. Nice move, stopping black's pawns on one diagonal. Bishop a6, g5. Oh my god, this guy knows everything. This guy knows everything. King d8, fixing the pawns on the light squares. King d8, bishop g4, and then push. Then also bishop b5, c7, bishop d7, bishop a4. Yeah, bishop d1, very nice move. And then in case of this position, a4, so he's saying king e8, bishop d1, white just stops this. I was thinking about this one, obviously. I think it might be good for white as well, because we can get the king in. Yeah, let's say king g2 first to stop the d pawn. And then returning bishop d5. Okay, bishop d1 was also possible. King d6. Should be winning for white. Like, let's say here. Again, we could have played bishop d1 earlier, but I think even this is winning. Getting this guy. Bishop is kind of too strong. And can't do anything, you know. Just simple. Yeah, king doesn't even get to b2, you know, to even go with the bishop. But even if it came to that, right, white still wins. So yeah, d6. And then if a4, c7, a3, bishop c6, a2. Oh, king's on h2. Oops. d7. White wins here. GG, 1-0. Let's see what else we got. Another Geller Phillip game. Man, he really beat up on Phillip, huh? Poor Phillip. Oh, we saw this game already. All right, we saw this game earlier. This is a knight f5 game. Okay, then another Fischer Geller. Ooh, 1-0. Oh, he shows a game where Fischer wins. Oh, how about that, huh? How about that? Geller, Nikolevsky. All right, some more Sicilians coming up. Geller Petrosian, a little French. And so many good games. Okay, but 3 is enough for one night. Been on for a good 2.5 hours. We got Grand Chess Tour again tomorrow. 2 days of Blitz coming up. Thanks for the book club. Yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, it was fun, guys. It's fun. Always nice to look through high-level games with company. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. Thanks. I'm going to get a bite to eat. rest up for tomorrow. We got Grand Chess Tour. Katie Learns is going to be in the house. You guys know Katie Learns? He's going to be visiting St. Louis. Hopefully we'll get him here for a stream or something. Play some chess. Yeah, Geller was a savage. Filthy individual. He walked into a church, his skin would start to tingle. Dirty player. Kick his opponents under the table. Dirty. Oh, yeah. Fischer loathed him. Absolutely loathed. Because he was everything Fischer could never be. Social. Had friends. I'm just playing. Thanks for following, folks. Join the Discord. We got a Discord server, and very exciting stuff happening there soon. We're working on this bot. Bot's going to run regular tournaments via Lichess that you can play. We're talking Swisses. We're talking arenas, blitz, rapid, classical. There's going to be a leaderboard. Very exciting times. So join the Discord. Get to play games as part of this little league thing we're going to start up. Should be cool. You can connect your account to Lichess, track your ratings, see where you stack up against other people in the dojo. I think it'll be pretty fun. Yeah. Discord, very exciting. Okay. Well, let's see if we can find someone to raid. See if we can get a little raid going. Raid a Ruski. We're gonna raid. Oh, maybe King's Bishop. Because it's Fischer Friday over there. We just saw Geller Fischer. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Thanks for coming out. Ooh, maybe we'll raid Kai Sanat. Maybe next time. Maybe next time when he's playing chess. Gotta get Kai to play some chess. Okay, today we'll raid Mr. Bishop with the Fischer lecture. Alrighty, folks. Have a good one.